Welcome to the garden I've dreamed of, where wisdom gathers, where grandmothers listen, and their voices collective weave hope for generations. Can I tell you my favorite place? It's where stories are told through the skill of our wonderful Sandra Lobb. Can you hear the echoes of their experiences resonating with yours? I invite you to explore them. What a joyous time it has been for me. What a joyful gift we can bring to each other and to the mothers and the children yet to come on our precious home, here on our dear Mother Earth.
Hello, Sharon. Grandmother Sharon Riegie Maynard is founder and teacher within the Sacred Ground Collective and Waking Women Moving Mountains, and she is a co-founder of Global Grandmothers Council Network. Sharon is a wise elder grandmother, a radical mystic Shah woman of our star families and the ancient ones. She's a coach and a creator of classes and ceremony for the healing of our maternal feminine woundings. She's created ways to give you information that those from the spiritual world, our star families, have shared with her over the past 30 plus years. Honored to introduce you, Grandmother Sharon. Thanks for being here. Please share with us a little bit of what you'll be presenting as part of our Tending Our Roots series at Global Grandmothers on December 19th at noon Eastern Standard Time.
Thanks, Sandra. It's an honor to be here. It's been quite a ride, this grandmother slide, that we're all involved with. First of all, I want to say I'm a mother of 9, a grandmother of 5. My children said, we know what a large family is like. We don't really need to experience it again. So few grandchildren, but they're all very precious to me. Yes, I brought a different perspective into Suzanne's conversation as we talked way back, I think it was in 2019, in relationship to the importance of bringing the grandmothers themselves together. She's coming from in the indigenous teachings that she had, those traditions that have been held in those various communities for all these years. What I was bringing is an awareness of the understanding the truths that had been lost from the planet, that were really held in what I call the galactic worlds with our star family members. And yet we both realized it was grandmothers, and for me, maternal. It was not just maternal, but it's female, and that has nothing in the galactic worlds to do with having children. So in those worlds, it's not the grandmother energy, it's the star family energy, and then why we come into a female body as a star being. And that's critical information, because there is a unique assignment, the extremely valuable assignment given to those souls who choose to incarnate into a female body. And it's not about being a mother, and it's not about being a grandmother. It's about being a galactic member of an extensive tribe. So we come from this grandmother or community tribe, from her grandmother community tribe. And what did she know and what did I know? Women are important. Women are critical. And so what I'm going to be sharing on the 19th is some information, probably some ceremony, maybe a little guided journey, however it downloads, to help us move into the extended selves that we are as star souls in a female body, in making the world a different place for those we love, which is our children, our grandchildren, and our communities. So it's going to be an exciting ride, and I'm all ready to share with those who come and join that ride on the 19th.
So are we. Thank you so much for that clear explanation of how both lineages work together. I really appreciate that. And we look forward to your lessons for us on the 19th. Thank you so much, Grandmother Sharon.
You're more than welcome. And I'm pleased to be with a group of curious women who are ready to look at stuff.
Well, welcome on this December the 19th. My name is Suzanne Lewis. I'm a co-founder, visionary for the Global Grandmothers Council Network that started out on Facebook. And we're doing Tending Our Roots. And one of the things that I just have to chuckle a little bit is I'm so honored to sit beside my sister, guiding star sister, Sharon, today. I was thinking about tending our roots, and there's something quite amazing about some of we grandmothers and mother advocates that have been collecting is that we come from the West in the United States. We're the wild women of the West. And Sharon and I happen to have familial bloodlines that take us back to ancient Wales and Ireland. And I bet if we were to check our roots, we might probably share some blood. Though Sharon and I have never physically met, we have been in communion. Sharon, it's been since the late 80s when I returned to Boise and with Brook Medicine Eagle. And so Tending Our Roots, the Global Grandmother Council Network, though we started it on Facebook in 2019, we're launching our website where we're speaking from right now. And the Global Grandmother Council Network is a community of grandmothers and women committed to have a safe, respected place to show up, speak, be heard, and be able to assure that we're doing the Rainbow Warrior prophecy for 7 generations back, 7 generations to come. And I'm pleased to share that Sharon has this tremendous gift. When we started 2019 to have the Facebook page, it was Sharon that took the initiative. I mean, even though I was a Zoom queen and leading we elders onto Zoom, the Facebook creation was Sharon's strength. I mean, what a leader, what a pioneer heroine she is. And so can we bring Sharon on? How about you, Sharon?
Hi, Suzanne. Yeah, here we are all these years later.
And I know it. Aren't we something?
Oh my gosh. Well, holding space is what we did. And when you hold space, not knowing exactly where or what it's going, that space becomes. And look what it's become. And for me, I want to just say that we're meeting on the sacred ground of sovereignty. That is the commitment we have. You've made, I've made, so many women and global grandmothers have made. That our commitment is to have that protection, the guidance beyond ourselves with each other. And that is sacred and protected. And that's where we gather today. So it's really great to be back with you. Touching again.
I just want to add that one of the amazing things since we all started coming together in April with the solstice is that we are really a tag team. I know that at times each of us, especially myself and you, dear one, we've had some rough human life experiences. Mm-hmm. And the joy is that we have each other's back. When I had to step down, mm-hmm. you were there. I mean, amazing. And that's what the Global Grandmother Council is about, is that we're human and we're real and we also are from the stars. And we want to celebrate that we are the voices.
We are. And this is the time. And we're working on a platform large enough that no one here has the single truth, if you will. We each have pieces, and this and this and this and this and this coming together at this time. Some very important things for us to be remembered too, because if we want a rainbow tribe, we have to keep that platform large enough for all the multiplicity of colors. And what does that mean? And that's where females come in. So I'm glad to be here sharing today.
We're glad you're here.
Yeah. So you want me to get started, or would you like, oh, there I am. Oh, my, okay, I'm started. So I'm really thrilled to be with my sisters today. And this is a time that was anticipated, hopefully would happen for eons. I started listening to those from beyond the planet because I needed information that wasn't here. I call myself a radical mystic because I was taught by the star system beings, some you know, some you don't, because I needed answers and they said it's not on the planet. That particular bit of information's been taken away. So I have asked lots of questions, and that's what led me to understand, because I didn't when I started, the power of the female soul in a female body. I was prepared because I'd listened to those beings from the stars, so that when Suzanne connected with me, she had her information, like we said, from her indigenous teachings. I had similar information from the stars. That's why we were able to come together and put this group, Facebook group, together in 2019, not knowing that we would be here today. So I wanted to share a little bit. I started in 71, very telepathic. I'm not clairvoyant, very telepathic, and very discerning, as you need to be here on the planet, as well as when you're looking for teachers beyond. So if you have that one slide, it's that you, yes, that's it. So here is a picture of my journey. Up here in the very top, you'll see that orange yellow. That is home. And we all talk about home. We talk about source. We talk about it being the ocean. Everything in that particular vibrational world is vibrations, harmonics, songs, dances, and colors. That is all good, all clear, all beneficial, absolutely no contamination, absolutely no domination, patriarchy, or any of the names. In that home in which we all came from, everything is whole. We had the opportunity to extend from home to have specific types of journeys. Might be a journey of, I'm going to experience what is called peace, or I'm going to experience what's called inner knowing, etc. And so we created a divine family group and extended from home. And once we extended from home, you now see the spiral, our full potential of home into our specific agenda in that what I call the first world was absolutely whole also. What we had forgotten or not prepared adequately for was that there are other groups from other space of home who intentionally inserted codes into their vibrational breath to allow them to be parasitic. Their agendas were parasitic. Our agendas were whole. Their agendas were parasitic. Parasites always look for a new host. So the brightness and lightness of these various families, these are the ones I've studied, 7. The brightness of their light, their creativity, their beauty, their joy, as it does, attracted those who wanted to use their creations for their own purposes. Power over, domination, voyeurism, etc. This is where we became entrapped. And we began to lose our full breath of life. It diminished, as it does when you are a host of parasitics. This whole area is what had been hidden from us when we created what is called the Earth Mission. The little red box, that is Earth. We are on Earth trying to free ourselves of parasitics. And if we can't, hosts die. So you can remove that slide now. Thank you very much. You've probably seen in your own life that just when you begin to get lovely and bright and beautiful, or other organizations become really light and beautiful, they become co-opted, or they become targeted, or they get crushed. That didn't begin on the Earth. It began in those galactic worlds because of the parasitic agenda beings were there, and they have been with us, attached to us from that point downward. So here we are, a group of amazing, amazing women from all over the world, and we want our light to shine, and we want our voice to be powerful. And we've been speaking to our elected officials, we've been speaking to our families, wondering why we can't shine and be safe. Why did we have witch hunts? Why was our brain rewired? You see? And that's what I want to talk about, because in this time, we have stories that we have lived with, stories that has been passed on in various traditions and in various teaching models, stories that held those survival half-truths, keeping us just alight enough, just hopeful enough that we could continue life, because we divine family members, we star members, we didn't give up, and we didn't give in, even though it has been very, very difficult. We came onto the planet 600,000 years ago. That's when Earth experience began, 600,000 years ago, give or take a few. We knew that we needed to get rid of outsider energy, that domination agenda. How can we eliminate those energies, those agendas, and the beings who had created them, so that we could be restored to our wholeness? Isn't that what we want? Isn't that what you've been working for in your own life? What has diminished your light, your good, your dreams, your vision, your health, agenda of cultures from those agendas of domination? It's not what we planned. So we go back to the myth of the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden story, and it has some truths in it that have also been twisted, because in order for the domination type energy to exist, it has to exist in cultures who have no power to get rid of it. They can fight against it, they can talk about it, they can be angry, but no power to remove it. So in the garden, who made the lush garden? In the story, you're told God, but in the galactic worlds, who had become our owner, our master, our God, were outsiders, were parasitics. Who made the garden? In the galactic story, I was told, is those who come in to female bodies. Energy from the divine moving right into that physical bodysuit. This is a bodysuit, we know that. This isn't our soul. Our soul in a physical bodysuit, right in, activating the suit, putting our feet on Gaia. Gaia allows us to be here in the hope that we can clean ourselves up. Well, we haven't cleaned ourselves up, and indeed, Gaia got contaminated. And the story in the garden tells about that. Lush gardens, our original clan, our original tribes, 600,000 years ago, the women partnered with Gaia, put their roots into Gaia to create sister circles who met within Gaia's space. And they met within Gaia's space to see what it was like here. What would they need to keep that mission force alive, supported, while we did the work to remove outsider parasitic energy. So they spun stories with Gaia, and they spun stories with each other. Now, any of us who have been in women leadership type circles, we spend a lot of time talking. And we have a platform where your idea is on the table, and then somebody else's idea is on the table, and we share and we talk, and then we talk, and then we let it sit, and then we come back, and pretty soon it coalesces into an idea, emerges from the field of the many to become an idea. And that is what happened in our original Clan Mothers circle. We gathered, and we talked, and we laughed, and we danced. But we first needed stability, resources, support on the planet we'd never been to before in order to stay here and do the job. And so it was a celebration when these lush gardens were formed, you see. And the women did that. And then they learned how to take an idea, how to share it, how to magnify it, how to let it emerge into that creative chakra, and how to hold it. And through the law of manifestation, it became form. It became a lush garden, you see. So once that lush garden was there, what did they need? Well, what we need today. They needed a way to tell if this form or fruit was of energy of home or good. It would taste sweet, it would feel expansive, it would bring joy. But remember, outsider energy, parasitic energy was here also. And if it formed a fruit, which it could and does, using the law of manifestation, this fruit would taste bitter, would feel off, would be constrictive to fruits. And we had to know what energy from home was like when it became form, and what energy was like from domination agendas and became form. Why? To live with them like we do today? No. No. We needed knowledge of what was called good and evil in order to say, oh, I know who you are. And in that space of female authority, space with an energy connected directly to teams off planet, this is where the female would speak, not to elected officials, not to men around, directly into the heavens and say, hey, this energy form I have determined has some type of domination energy there. Have it removed back to its home of origin. That's why the tree, the knowledge of good and evil. And that's where things went awry. Because the outsider dominator became aware in one village of the authority that the body of the female had. to speak to the heavens and be heard, to remove outsider dominators. I'm going to say that again. Those agenda of domination, power over, who were on the planet because they had been with us before, they came right with us. As soon as they were aware that there was a bodysuit directly connected to the heavens with the job, if you will, to be able to say, this is outsider dominator of some type, have it removed back to its home, and it would be done. What would that do to the power of those agendas? They would lose power. They would lose the authority to control. They would lose their host. And if they lost their host, us, that would be a problem for them, but it would be freedom, sovereignty for us. So as soon as a group of dominating, agending beings saw that in the garden this knowledge was being given, they came in and immediately took over, rewired the chakra system, crippled the DNA system, basically taking away the voice of the female 300,000 years ago, and again 250,000 years ago. So all the stories from 250,000 years ago have pieces of the truth. Because if we kept the truth in pieces, no one could shine bright enough to attract dominators. They would just go like, let them go there, do their thing, no problem. We kept pieces of the truth in various tribes and various ethnicities to preserve it in the hopes that we could there would be a day when the correction for those in female bodies could occur to restore that authority that says, aha, there's something wrong here, and call in and remove. Until that happened, it was not safe to bring all the pieces of information together. So here we are. Our commitment in Global Grandmothers, probably your commitment in life, is to have the truth to bring together good, bright, light, creative genius for your children, your grandchildren, and 7 generations past. The other thing that happened at the garden is that an energy vibration, a broadcasting energy vibration of enmity was broadcast into female to say, don't listen to each other. Don't listen to each other. Don't listen to each other. So here we are. So I'm going to just take a moment here because I think I have maybe 10 minutes that I have left. So I'll ask Suzanne if that's the case, because I want to do a guided journey. I do not want to leave you just with information. So what do you think, Suzanne or Mayanna? 15 minutes, they say. Going to take a drink. And I want to acknowledge that we have been very, I'll use the word addicted to our personal stories. We have had to have that strong, my story is correct. We had to have that for a time in order to preserve it. And it looked like competition, but we had to preserve it. We are in a different time now because the restoration of authority is now being given for the last 8 years, really. So preserving your story has been necessary. So when you hear something new and different, you might go, I don't know about that, Shift to curiosity. Shift to curiosity. Try it on. Because we need the correction and we need the stories. So I want you just to take a breath and find a place to be comfortable. Just let your breath breathe that light, hope into your body, down the midline of your body. Right down both legs and into your feet. And feel your feet in your imagination on Mother Earth, Gaia. Foundational piece of the divine feminine, Gaia. Say, Gaia, I'm here. I'm with you. We both want clarity, sovereignty, and freedom, and I'm with you. Just sense roots going from your feet right down into the circle of earth, into her ground, not to put in garbage, but to put in the light of sister circles, global grandmothers, mothers, sisters, aunts, daughters. I'm here with you. You are not alone. And in your imagination, bring that breath back, filling your body. And in your imagination, you are in a circle of sisters. And it might be in a grove, it might be by the beach, it might even be in the stars. We represent our maternal line, the genetic line of our mothers who suffered, who had traumatized, who passed on trauma, who didn't have all the answers, but they never gave up. They are here with us. And that circle is surrounded with brilliant beings of light appearing in female bodies called the Sophia Collective. That Sophia Collective stands around us and says, we finally can be with you. And each Sophia sister stands in front of you, one in front of all the other women in the circle. And they have on a beautiful azure cloak, shawl, necklace representing Sophia, voice of authority. And they touch their hand to your third eye, activating the connection to the divine. And they place another hand on your solar plexus, activating the power center to discern energy of expansion, energy of constriction, Sophia. And they say, watch. And you call to mind an energy of any form that feels to you powerfully, power over, dominator, abuser. And you feel that energy. And that Sophia sister puts her staff from her left hand into the ground. And she said, this is my space, my body, my home, my family. This is mine. I own it because I have stewardship over it. It is mine. I own this space. You put your staff in the ground in behalf of this is my body, my home, my life. I own it. And the sword is thrust into the sky. It's not a fighting sword. It's a connector into the heavens, into that team unlimited who have the power to identify and literally unplug dominating energy from your life. And you say, sword in the sky, remove outsider dominating energy of all vibrational ranges back to its home of origin, where it is to be made to extinction of dust light. And you stand with them. When you feel complete, they hug you, each woman, and you are embraced, and they say, you have that activation now. I am with you always now. And they place an azure cloak or an azure shawl or an azure necklace around you. This is the voice that is needed. Because as these women gather, these wise women with stories from multiple tribes, ethnicities, experience of life, and we share together, we surround ourselves with a circle of Sophia collectives so that our light cannot be co-opted. Any energy targeted toward us is absolutely stopped, frozen, locked out, and unplugged to be removed to the place of extinction dust light. You are a power of Sophia. You are rooted in Gaia. And the third part of the female triad is grace, the heart. Now your heart can do what she has always been intended to do, which is not nurturing. That is the male role. That is the Christ role. You have not been told about grace, power. But you have Sophia, you have Gaia, and now you can become aware of grace. And that is the triad for females. The divine triad, Gaia, Sophia, and now grace. So it's relationships that you can begin to dialogue with. These are collectives of intelligence. These are fields of your star families. And they are ready for this time because they are ready. And they are calling you to be with them. You may see them as grandmothers. You may see them as mothers. You may see them as daughters. They're all one. We are on a roll, my loves. And we need to be safe. We need to know where our authority lies. And with that, I place you in their hands for the relationships you can build with them. And so be it. I can't hear Grandmother Suzanne.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you, the crone with the ancient ones, calling up the maiden, the crone, and bringing all time to present time. And I feel like a star that's just sparkling. I'm in the field of delight. And what we want to do right now is to further expand upon the Global Grandmothers Council Network. And I'd like to ask Mayana to join in right now.
Hello.
Oh, my, here we sit. I want to introduce, because this section, Mayana, you haven't been brought to the forefront. And so, Mayana, can you highlight how the coming of we three women right here, right now, have formed this holy alliance with shared sacred contracts and the timeliness that we're all still standing, as Dr. Estes would say. So, Mayana, can you circle this all around?
Oh, I'll try to do this quickly. In spring equinox was big for all three of us, and I was heading to Europe. I was in Europe on the equinox at the Mother's Heart in Hungary, at the Mother's Heart chakra of the planet. And when I returned, I was introduced to you, Grandmother Suzanne, which I had been in community in Boise, but we didn't know each other. And I was invited to try to help make an organization and provide nonprofit status for the Global Grandmothers, because over that spring equinox, we grew to 30,000 members by spring. And then by June, there were 55,000 members, and we didn't advertise. We just were present. And we came together, and Grandmother Sharon was going through a traumatic time in her life. And we all were just called to just step up and come together, and we did. And that was, to me, that was a confirmation, a restoration, a carrying forth of our life missions. And I feel the honor and the privilege of being the younger and being the one serving right now, because I'm a generation under the two of you. You are the great grands of the organization, and I really value this time together. And we've been working hard since spring to bring this all around and create the organization, and we've been doing fundraisers, and we've created the web platform that has a marketplace. The marketplace is open, but we're still getting grandmothers' tables set up, because it's like a farmer's market. So everybody will have their own table, and we're getting that happening through the end of this year. And we have an academy that will be opening hopefully by this solstice. And we're just really gathering our stories and our wisdom. We each have a voice of wisdom. Every woman has a voice of wisdom to share. And we want to gather those stories and present them to the world in a way that the world will hear us and listen and respond. Yeah.
I really want to do a shout out for those who have been on the Facebook page and have joined us as in leadership positions or creative positions to help us move forward, because we have 55,000 on the Facebook page, but we have maybe less than 100 of us doing the work. And so we appreciate the patience you've had. In the things that you've spoken of and shared, we are heard by us, and we're pedaling as fast as we can. And so whatever you feel drawn to add to the vision, let us know, and then step up, because we've got a full plate, all of us, but we'd love more plates, but we just would love you also to come with that plate and help us move this forward in physical ways too.
One of the things I'd like to add is that I've been an editor of an online webpage, my webpage, for 24 years. That's why I have all the articles. I'm her story, and I'm a hollow flute for the grandmothers. And they are really championing us to show up right now. And what I want to say to you that are saying, golly, I can barely get on Facebook, is that our website is, number one, is open to women, and any woman can join for free. But we then have different levels of participation. And before we go that far, those of you that say, I just don't have the technology, we're developing from our group of Alliance women buddy system, angel system, so that we can have somebody with you to enter into our garden. And there's just so much potential for telling our stories for our children's children, and telling our stories for the Mother Earth and climate and waters. And we have so many ways that you can participate and help us. We're only as strong as the weakest link, and we need every one of you to show up right now.
I love how Grandmother Sharon put it in one of her comments. She said, "We are not a top-down organization. We're growing. We're growing from the ground up, and each one of us are a crucial part of what's growing in the garden. So you can come in as a seed for free and figure out where do you want to plant your seeds and all of that potential that's found within a seed. Or you could come in as a flower. Oh, I'm blooming. I've got something that's a sweet smelling aroma and some beauty to share with you. And I'm going to come in that way. Or you can come in as what we're calling fruits and nuts, because the fruits and nuts are those, sometimes you feel like a nut. They're the ones who've done work and have substance to bring forth to help guide others. So we have these different levels of participation, and just come and feel your way around and see how you want to plant. As Sharon was talking about the garden, we are returning to the garden. Everything is a garden metaphor right now. We're tending our roots because it's winter. And when a tree has a disease, a parasite, you don't treat the leaves. You have to go to the roots and treat the roots. And this is what we're doing here. So we're treating the roots so we can come out in a good way in the new year.
I'd like to say something too in relationship to taking on the Sophia initiation, because without that Sophia initiation, our mothers, our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers had to keep themselves small, and that was by contract.
Mm-hmm.
They also contracted to pull each other down to keep each other safe, and that was by contract. We had to keep our stories minimalized, our light minimalized, because we were in survival. So my suggestion is that those who put themselves through any of the initiations, Sophia initiation for sure, because I know that brings back authority conversations and protection you don't have before. What you think you can do here when you're still in your survival stories, inherited trauma stories, is minimal. And I don't have it. I can't give it. I can't show. Once you walk yourself through some of those changes and allow those changes to begin to write new things for you, then new doors open. And right here, you might come in free as a seed. We welcome you, because that's all you know you can do. But as you progress and open inside to new stories and anchoring new stories, then over here you might find that, like, I think I'm a flower. I'm going to be a flower. Or you know what? I have something even more to offer, and then you become a fruit, nut, whatever those designations are. We are in that kind of change for women. We've been in some, we've had to be small. We honor that. But now we are here to help open new doors by changing the very roots that we have sprung from. So come in any way you can.
Yeah.
One Divine, our magnificent web designer, holy woman, has a couple of notes right here. She said, subscribing members are what enable us to do this program. With just a small amount, if each of you would subscribe to just a small amount, it's going to help us be in our power. And let me tell you, I'm tired of power being equated with money, the love of power, and I want the power of love to reign. And that's what we're all about, is love, unconditional love. We're all from the same great tree of life. We just have different branches. And what else did she say?
Oh, as a flower, just give a little support to help us get there. You know, $13 a month as a flower is very small donation. You also can make donations directly on our website. Just click the donate tab, and we use a program called Zephy, where they even pay the Stripe fees. So we get 100% of your donations. And definitely this web platform and the development of it costs money. And grandmothers have been the most vulnerable members of our society. They're the ones that are left with even separated from their own children often. And the whole purpose behind our marketplace and academy and Grandmother's Garden is that grandmothers can offer their goods and services, even if it's something in your closet you could list in Grandmother's Closet because somebody else wants your vintage items. and the money goes directly to the grandmother, with just a little tiny bit for Global Grandmothers Council Network, but the majority of the funds go directly to the grandmother you are supporting. And if we had 500 to 1,000 flowers in the garden, we'd be able to create so much more. We could do so much more and create programs locally in your communities. That's a key, is when you come into Grandmother's Garden, you can find the other grandmothers that are nearby you. This is a great feature because you sure can't on Facebook find out anything about the other members, their profile. But you can't really find out who's next to me. Who can I gather with in person? How can we come together in our localities and do the work together?
I'd like to also, we have been living under domination cultures for so long that we might fight against them, know that we don't like them. But the original way that was prepared for us as star beings to have survival mechanisms on the planet was through having an idea, manna from heaven, an idea that I love this idea, and I bring it into form, and that form is shared within my community, and everybody's forms get shared. That was the community currency ideas. It's still the case. What we have now is that second level of, sometimes it's not, I don't give my pot for your chicken, but I give my pot for some of your money, which your chicken has bought over here. That is the way we were always intended to have an economy, based on ideas from heaven, manifested, being rewarded with some kind of exchange. And that ideas that we get as women were to resource us, and not to be free, and not to be for free, I might say.
Sharon and Mayana, just for clarification on my side. So what I'm hearing is that we're going to be offering an academy and some courses, and we're going to be offering some events. And there is going to be fees for the classes that we're going to be sharing. But I'm hearing that there could also be an option that no one will be turned away. Mm-hmm. That if you're really called to attend Suzanne's 13th lunar month, that lending into Sharon, that maybe we can have a tab, donation, or trade. Maybe I don't have dollars, but I have time to be on the phone or on the line to answer grandmother's questions. Clarification there?
Yes, we've certainly spoken of it, and I can tell you all of my classes. This is a fee. This is a monthly charge, or your donation, a donation, or pay it forward. I don't care how you come. I don't care how you learn. For me, and I'm speaking for myself, but I think we all are in alignment with that. I don't care how you come. You can pay the full. You can pay monthly. You can do your own donation. You can pay it forward. It's there for you. And then some things are totally no charge too in the garden.
Yeah. And it's a matter of bringing ourselves to the place where we respect one another's teachings and sharing, and offer of our own selves. So if you're going to pay it forward or ask for a scholarship or a free, what can you give? Maybe you can just talk to another grandmother. Maybe there's something in your local community that you can do. Maybe there's someone that you could serve in exchange, and it may not be exchange to us, but it's an exchange in the world. So therefore it is an exchange with us.
You know, and my memory serves me right, is that one of our hopes and inspirations for this website is that when the finances, things get running smoother, we want to do scholarships. We want to join in advocacies. If someone
the academy and the marketplace are public facing. So that's for the public to be able to purchase and attend classes of all ages. And we'll even have a children's section. In the grandmother's garden, in the private community portal, is for the women and for our members. That's the difference, is the members present to the public in the marketplace and the academy. But the community is private just to women. It's not Googleable. Nobody's going to ever see your children's photos, or except the grandmothers, but it's not public like Facebook or some of these other social platforms. It's private. It's secure. Security was one of our most important concerns as we were building this. And One Divine has done a fabulous job of making sure grandmothers are safe and protected and secure and have a place to play. It's not just work. You know, let's have fun together. Let's play together. Be little girls.
I just want to also say, because my community is called the Sacred Ground Community and Waking Women Moving Mountains Community. And because we understand the power of Sophia, we have also that cocooned, what I call the guardianship cocoon, that we intentionally hold for those that are new projects that are coming forward. So we also teach you how, you've got a project, you got an idea, how can you use that Sophia authority and the triad of Gaia, Grace, and Sophia for your community to be held by your community in a very unique way. So, you know, we are becoming more light, we are becoming more visible, we are more excited, and that means we could either be a target, or we can be so secure that those coming toward us are identified and removed more quickly. The whole purpose is to clean out domination energies, which then dismantling the leaderships will just naturally happen. So just, you know, throwing it out there, we've got many ways to keep everyone safe and growing in their excitement.
Yeah.
As a point of clarification, I got this little note from One Divine, and it'll help me too, because she said, mentioned that the Academy and Marketplace are public for all ages to receive the grandmother's offerings. I take that to mean men and women. It says for all.
Yes.
The private community portal, Grandmother's Garden, is for women, for our members. Mm-hmm. We tend and grow in the garden. We bring our offerings to the public through our events, academy, and marketplace.
Yes, mm-hmm. Exactly. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah.
So grateful. Thank you, Grandmother Sharon, for such a rich and depth explanation of how our cosmic connections work in our human here and now. Thank you both. Thank you.
Yes.
Deep gratitude that we're showing up and standing in the circle strong. I love you and respect you.
Same here. Back to you.
you.